Sorry ass DJ.
Hey everybody, how you doing out there? And welcome to a special ranking. We'll get to the ranking the victim's death on the rest of these hopefully soonish here, but I wanted to actually talk about ranking the Michael Myers deaths and defeats. Now this is the final of the big three I needed to do last year. I ended up doing the Freddy Krueger ones and the Jason Voorhees ones, and you guys seem like you really enjoyed those ones, so hopefully you guys will actually enjoy this one here too. We got 14 that we're going to be talking about, because I will be including Colonel Cochran from Halloween 3, and also from Halloween Ends we're going to talk about Corey. So we'll have 2 deaths in that particular movie, and I would be kind of curious to see how would you want to rank all 14 of them, or if you don't want to include those other 2 I just mentioned, all 12 of just the Michael Myers ones from worst to best, that's fine. Or just give me your best and give me your worst. And before we get ourselves started, if you are watching this the very first day, happy Halloween to everybody. Have a fun, spooky Halloween. Let's get ourselves started. Number 14 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween 5. So after crazy Dr. Loomis ends up setting a trap for Michael Myers at the Myers house, he ends up beating up on Michael Myers with a 2x4, and then the next thing we know, Michael Myers is in jail. And then we have the Man in Black who comes in maybe a minute later and actually shoots all the cops at the station and actually releases Michael Myers. Now, the reason why I have this one at the bottom is I always thought it was very stupid from the first time I ever saw this all the way until recently, where I'm like, Michael Myers in prison, it's almost like trying to put Jason Voorhees in prison. It just doesn't make any sense. And why would they even let him leave his mask on? That was another thing I thought was really, really stupid. Just never cared that much for. Number 13 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween Resurrection. After Busta Rhymes decides to zap Michael Myers' balls, Michael steps back into some wiring and he's kind of like this, and he's getting himself electrocuted. Then the next thing we know is Michael Myers is being wheeled in by 2 paramedics to the coroner. One of the paramedics says it's Michael Myers. They walk away. She goes up and she unzips the bag, and of course the mask is all melted onto his face, and then his eyes open and we get the scary music and then credits. Another thing I think is kind of like pretty stupid. Number 12 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. After Tommy ends up beating up on Michael Myers, he ends up leaving with Kara and Kara's son, and Dr. Loomis decides to stay behind. So they end up driving away, and the next thing we know, they show Michael Myers' mask on the floor, and then we get Dr. Loomis screaming, and it's almost like it's Michael Myers killing Dr. Loomis off screen. If they would have just showed the mask on the floor and not the screaming, maybe this still could have gone up one more spot, maybe even a couple, because I mean, just seeing the mask itself is actually kind of creepy. Number 11 is going to be Halloween Ends, and we're going to have Corey. So when it comes to Corey, he has the Halloween mask on, and he's going upstairs, and he opens up a door, and there's Laurie who shoots him. He goes over the railing or rolls down the steps, and then Laurie goes down, and he's injured as hell. She's having a little conversation about, you'll never be with Alice, and the whole thing, well, if I can't have her, and stabs himself in the neck, thinking that was going to be it there. Well, it actually turns out that was not it. Laurie ends up in the kitchen. Here comes Michael Myers, puts on the Myers mask there, walks over and tries to grab the knife. Corey is still alive because the knife is actually out of his neck there because of Laurie. And then Corey stops Michael Myers for trying to get the knife, and Michael Myers is like, screw this. He goes over, puts his hands on Corey's head like he's going to pop him like a pimple, and then just snaps his neck. And I was like very, very happy whenever we get to his death. Number 10 is going to be Colonel Cochran from Halloween 3. Dr. Chellis, who has a box of something, and him and Allie go up these steps where they can look down and they see our main villain and all these doctors and scientists. And he actually opens up the box and he actually dumps out, it's like those trademark like stickers with the chips in them, and starts dropping them down. And once these things start hitting the people or hitting the floor, it starts like zapping these people's brains, and they all start going. And we actually get a beam of light around where all these doctors and these computers are actually at. Then you actually get the big stone that ends up actually lighting up, and Cochrane actually sees that light, looks up, kind of gives a little bit of applause to Dr. Challis, and then you get laser beams on both sides, turn him into stone, and then he disappears. As much as I love this villain, I just thought that was such a weak death. Number 9 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween 2018. So you got Michael Myers, who is fighting with Laurie in the kitchen. Laurie's daughter and granddaughter are actually in the basement area. Eventually, Laurie's able to push Michael Myers down to the basement. Allison's able to get upstairs with no problem, but then when it comes to Karen, Michael Myers grabs her by the leg. They're having a little trouble for her trying to get upstairs. Allison grabs a knife, stabs Michael Myers in the hand, and lets go of her mother. Karen's able to run upstairs. And when Michael Myers is trying to get upstairs, you get like these spikes that are blocking him, that there's no way he'll be able to get up there. And I kind of like that it turned out it wasn't just a basement, it was also a dungeon for Michael Myers. They actually let some gas leak go into the basement. Laurie actually has like a road flare, crosses into the basement, and there's fire all around Michael Myers there, and he's just standing there just looking at them. I just think it was such a ripoff of another Halloween movie that we'll get to later on, that I just thought, man, if they would have done something a lot different, maybe something cooler, this could have been definitely a lot up higher than where I actually have it. Number 8 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween Ends. So after Michael Myers kills Corey, he ends up getting into a little bit of a somewhat cold fight with Laurie Strode in the kitchen. Eventually, Laurie does win and cuts his wrist and his neck there, and he's bleeding out. We get some of the cops that come into Laurie's, and she's like, Michael Myers is dead. So they actually put Michael Myers on the roof of one of their vehicles. They tie him up, they drive him to the junkyard, and they end up dumping him like in this big trash compactor to actually have his body just completely gone. Now, I will kind of defend this to a point. You're going to finally take out Michael Myers. This is definitely one of the ways that I think really does work. Number 7 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween Kills. After he kills like about a dozen people in this mob who was beating the hell out of him, and they have like kind of almost a nice little action scene. We get, I believe it was Karen, and she's holding on to Allison, and then she actually lets go of her, and she actually goes upstairs into Michael's bedroom, and she's looking out of his window. Here comes Michael Myers and just kills her. And it's like no one knows that he's up there. And then all of a sudden that he looks out the window himself, and then according to Halloween Ends, he disappears like the wind for like 4 years. So I do actually really do like that. Number 6 is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. After Michael Myers kills Dr. Loomis, you got Sheriff Brackett. He shoots Michael Myers twice through this window, and Michael Myers falls to the ground, and we get some spikes that come from the back to the front there and just sticking out at him, and it's like he's dying. And even when you get Laurie, who actually is sad and crying for like maybe a good 30 seconds about, I love you, brother, I love you, brother. So he actually has a knife, and it looks like he is about to stab her, but he's too weak. He drops the knife. She picks it up, and she fucking goes to town and starts stabbing him and screaming and yelling. Now, that is definitely one way. Even though I do like the Halloween Ends, death to a point there, that's another way of just taking out Michael Myers and stabbing the fuck out of him until he bleeds to death. Number 5 is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. So you got Laurie, who's actually up in the Myers house on the 2nd floor. You got Laurie, she's holding a gun, and she's clicking, and nothing's coming out. Michael Myers runs towards her, tackles her. They go outside onto the balcony. They flip over the balcony, and they both land on the ground there. You got Michael Myers just laying there. So you got Laurie, who reaches for the gun. She points it at his head, but she doesn't know if she could really do it or not. Michael Myers reaches up, grabs the gun, and the gun goes off, and all this blood shoots all over Laurie's face. And I will admit, maybe she screams a little too much there. They could have probably cut a few seconds off of that there, but she's screaming hysterically, which would make sense with the hell that she just went through in this entire movie. Number 4, it's going to be Michael Myers from the original Halloween. So you got Dr. Loomis, who saves Laurie, puts 6 slugs into Jason's chest. Each slug, he falls back until he ends up on the balcony and he falls over. Him and Laurie are talking for a moment. He goes over to the balcony, he looks down, and Michael Myers has just disappeared, and all you get is like his heavy breathing on all these different shots that Carpenter finished up on in this movie. And I don't have anything wrong to say about this. It's a great ending. I just have 3 other ones that I like a lot better. Number 3 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween 4. Michael Myers just laying in this field here after he got himself ran over by Rachel, and you got Jamie that comes over and touches Michael Myers, lets him go, because you hear someone say, "Jamie, come back here." Jamie is slowly walking back to her sister Rachel. You get Michael Myers, who has the knife, grabs it, he sits up, he gets up and he's about to stab his own niece. Then you hear Rachel say, or somebody actually says, "Jamie, get down." She ducks, and Michael Myers is getting fucking blasted by Sheriff Meeker and a couple other people, and I just love the hell out of that. I thought that was a damn good way to kill him or defeat him. Number 2 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween H2O. So you got Laurie, who steals the van that Michael Myers' dead body is in. Michael Myers gets himself up, tries to kill his sister. She slams on the brakes. He goes through the windshield. He's laying there for a moment, gets himself up. She drives right into him, goes off a little bit of like this little bit of a cliff. He goes flying, she goes flying, the van goes flying, and eventually Michael Myers gets stuck like on this big tree branch, and you get the van that actually crushes Michael Myers. Believe it or not, he's still alive. She gets herself up, she grabs the axe, she goes over to Michael, and Michael Myers is reaching out, and she slowly like touches fingers with him, and she moves her hand back, and chops off his goddamn head. I really do like that. And my number 1 is going to be Michael Myers from Halloween 2. So you got Dr. Loomis and you got Michael Myers, and of course Laurie just escaped from this room. Dr. Loomis has a lighter, and there's of course gas in this room. Him and Michael Myers supposedly blew up. Laurie just escapes from this explosion that happened, and then she actually kind of looks around the corner, and here comes Michael Myers walking through the fire, and walking like, I don't know, so many steps out of the fire, and then he actually falls and he burns. And I will admit, I will always love that stunt. I think that was great. Well, there you guys go. There is my ranking of the Michael Myers deaths and defeats. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that will be. Have yourselves a good one. Bye.